Vegas. Clippers basketball. That foul assist to number 8, Pete Watson, third personal. Clippers foul assist number 88. That's Nico's first person. Third team foul. Conversions at the line, 2 free throws. Loose ball foul, assist number 22, Zeke Najee. That's his first personal. Clippers are in the bonus. At the line, Jordan Miller, 1 plus the penalty, 2 shots.
Point of emphasis by this Clippers team. The Denver Nuggets were beating them to those 50-50 balls in game 1 and 2. You get out rebounded by 18 like they did in game 2. You don't typically come away with a victory. Of course, Wilder not a typical superstar in this league.
Two minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. That foul, Jordan 22, Zeke Najee, that is his second personal. Drew Ewings is at the line for 2 shots.
want to look too far ahead. Grizzlies, yes, unfortunately, did not hold on to that lead. It would be difficult for them after the first 2 games, but well, it'll be difficult for them to get up to game 4 now after maybe they just put out their best effort.
Clippers basketball.
At least part of the game will make it.
We'll see you Saturday. The Clippers with a 2-1 series lead. They defeat Denver. Welcome home Intuit Dome into playoff basketball. The Clippers take down the Nuggets, and a big game 4 awaits them Saturday afternoon. Nico Batum's going to put the headset on for us. Nico, you got us. Appreciate you. First home game here at Intuit. What did it feel like on the floor? First playoff home game in front of this crowd.
I mean, it was great. No, the crowd was into it. The wall was amazing, as always. So you could feel like the excitement about, it's like an opening night, technically.
Huge game for you, Nico. 4 threes, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks. You were everywhere for this Clipper team. When you're out on the floor with that second unit, what are your goals for yourself when you're on the floor?
I mean, it's easy, when you're on the court with Ben Simmons, James, Kawhi, DJ, Bogey. I mean, they all like great players, great IQ. So for me, you just have to be in the right spot. It's pretty much. No, I swear, since we made the trade in January, in February, I mean, it's pretty much easy for me to play basketball with that group. So I'm very happy on the court.
You're making it look easy. You guys get the win in this one. Huge game 4 coming up.
Yeah.
What do you have to continue to do or do better in that game on Saturday?
Defense, we still got some mistakes on defense, rotation, rebounds, turnovers again. So we got to correct that because I know they're going to come out aggressive. Jokic, who he is, and that group is a championship group as well. So we have to be even more ready for them on Saturday.
Well, I can't wait for it. Thank you, Nico.
Thank you.
We look forward to those no-dip threes. Clippers win 117-83 as they take down the Denver Nuggets and take a 2-1 series lead. They will be back into it for game 4 and round 2 here in their home arena. What an environment it was for the Clippers. Intuit Dome. Another big win and another first for the Clips. Well, for Big Brother Jake Warner, who completes his 3,000th radio broadcast, Joey Kimball in his first playoff game, an excellent performance. Adam Oslin, 202 days of Clippers stock in a row. Daniel West back in the studio. Take us away. Clippers win dominantly against Denver and open Intuit Dome in the playoffs with a 117-83 victory over the Nuggets. Round 1, Clippers up 2-1 on your Clippers Audio Network.
How we feeling, Clipper Nation? You guys still not want to play Norm Powell, or are we good now? Norm drops 20. Kawhi 21. 20 from James Harden, all in the first half. Bogey got into the act late. That was good to see. All systems go. What a dominant performance on both ends of the floor. Surgical. Unreal. Best game they played all season, and it happens in a playoff game.
You see this from Law?
No.
Only 2 playoff games they've won by more. You have to go to the bubble, 154-111 against Dallas.
I remember that. I think they set the 3-point record there.
And then 2014 against Golden State, 138-98. The 3rd biggest win in franchise history in the playoffs.
You guys hear that? You hear that, David Adam? Can you hear?
Yeah! Big bro got a box score, baby. Well, Adam, I'd say good first 3 games. I'll take it.
Clippers up 2-1 with momentum heading into game 4. I know Denver's going to play much better. If there's a game where Jokic is going to go off, it's got to be that one.
Really? Oh, big bro.
How are we feeling, Clipper Nation?
You want me to just sign my name or my signature? I'll do my signature. It's just my initials, though. Okay. I'm nervous.
What a performance on both ends. Just complete domination. Absolute destruction. We said the game was going one of 2 ways. Woo! A close game with Jokic going off, or a blowout for the Clippers. Thankfully, it was the latter of the 2. Well, their 3rd biggest postseason win in franchise history happens in Game 3 in their first ever game here at Intuit Dome in a playoff setting as the Clippers take down the Denver Nuggets 117-83. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we'll have Clippers talk for you on AM 570 LA Sports. We'll also get to second half highlights, your postgame box score, and more. But first, back over to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, I emphasize the offense. You emphasize the defense. The execution on both ends was just out of this world in this Clippers game. And being here at Intuit Dome, you could just see the crowd give them a lift. And it started early when they were down 7.
Yeah, the Clippers down 7, Adam. James Harden, huge, massive threes in that stretch to make it a 1-point game. Then Denver scored. The Clippers scored. All of a sudden, it was a 2-point Denver lead, 28-26. The Clippers would score 17 unanswered and go up 15, and that was about the turning point in the game. I don't think it got closer than 10 the rest of the way, Adam, early in that second quarter when the Clippers were able to run away with things. Just the ability to, I think this team has shown it, Adam, all year, be very professional about the way they approach games. When you think about a lot of nights they're playing teams on the front end of a back-to-back, and the team may be one of those teams where, yeah, you should destroy them. They're under 500. The Clippers have taken care of business. They've had a professional approach, as Bishaw has talked to us about. And this is another game where you go up 10 at them, and it never gets closer than 10. I mean, I don't think it was closer than 18 the entire fourth quarter. It was a professional approach. the entire way. Joey Kimball, our statisticians, give me the thumbs up, which means I'm right. Let's go. Once in a blue moon. But I think overall, an impressive win by this group. An impressive, as you mentioned, bounce back. Because, look, Denver had the momentum. Aaron Gordon was 4 for 4. He had 11 points. They made their first threes. They went into this zone the Clippers weren't really sure to do. A couple turnovers early, but they settled down, got into a rhythm. And sometimes you're going to win games like game 2, where your superstar goes nuclear. And sometimes you're going to do it as a team. 6 players in double figures. It was a total team effort from the Clippers. Everybody gets an A on the group project.
They had the right intent, they had the right focus, and they were able to engineer that big run with Ben Simmons on the court against Nikola Jokic. They went plus 11 from the end of the first quarter into that second quarter. They flipped things around quickly from down by 7 to being up by 7 heading into the second. Big Zoo comes back into the ball game. The Clippers continue to cook there. I got to give a ton of credit to Coach Lou. He started last game early in the first quarter, inserting Ben Simmons about at the midway point. That has been a huge chess piece that has been moved in this series. And so far, Denver really hasn't had an answer for it.
No, because Simmons picks up Jokic full court. And what that does, and what he's talked about, is now you're taking time off the clock, which means less time to run their offense, but more importantly, less time for Nikola Jokic to pretty much facilitate on the offensive end. And the Clippers were able to dominate those minutes. They hit big threes. Simmons has been really a key contributor in this series, and his versatility at 6'10" and the ability to handle the ball. He's a point guard before a center. He'll tell you that. And his defensive acumen in this game has made it tough. And David Adelman's going to watch a lot of film on how he can try to change things for Denver. But I imagine T. Lou's going to stick to that adjustment because it has worked big time for them these last 2 games. Impressive stuff from Ben Simmons, who doesn't have to do a lot on the floor, Adam, but what he does is monumental in terms of helping the Clippers come away with a victory. Super, super impressive stuff from Simmons. And the Clippers get back home at him, and they look like the team that finished the regular season 18-3. I mean, this is a very, very good Denver group. Nikola Jokic has a triple-double. Jamal Murray goes for 23, and the Clippers dominate. I mean, Denver wasn't close the entire way.
I think the number that stands out to me more than any other in this ball game, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Nikola Jokic, after having just 16 shot attempts in game 2, only got up 14. In this ball game. They have continued to keep him off balance. We've seen with almost like a staggered double that turns into a triple team at times, where it just, he doesn't know where the defenders are coming from. There's these delayed blitzes they're throwing at him. They've been so effective.
And that's the big, you just hit the nail on the top of the head there, Adam. But after game 1, Ty Lue spoke to, we're not doubling at the right time. He can't see the double coming, because then he knows exactly where to go with the ball. Now, he still made some passes today where you're like, wow, did he even see that guy? But at the end of the day, you just want less wow moments for Nikola Jokic. So impressive by the Clippers in that game to be able to double team when he's not looking, to make it hard. Nikola Jokic has seen it all. The Clippers aren't going to do anything new. They're not going to change something he hasn't seen. It's just not showing him the same thing every time and not allowing him to have the time to be able to know what's coming next. And the Clippers did a great job of that. And look, Denver right now, Michael Porter Jr. goes straight to the locker room. Russ is out with foot inflammation. An already top-heavy team seems to be getting a little lighter. So for the Clippers, Adam, if you bring out the same intensity, the same focus into game 4, you could have a similar result to that contest. Both sides of the ball, even though Nico Batum spoke to us post-game, he said they felt like they could be better defensively, which is scary considering they held the Denver Nuggets to 83 points in a 48-minute game. But it just really, it looked like the Clippers we had known since March 5th. I think that's my biggest takeaway. That this looked like the team that we had seen just steamroll the NBA since March 5th.
And to your point, they got a lot of production since then from Norman Powell. I know he's been a little bit up and down since he came back from multiple injuries, but tonight they had a true big 4 out there, and Stormin' Norman did his thing.
20 points. He's the X factor in this series. 3 threes in the ball game, 3 assists, and no turnovers for Norm in his 28 minutes. Super, super impressive stuff from Norman Powell, knocking down those shots. I mean, you know he's the X factor on him because look at the tape. These shots he's taking, and we're describing them, they're open. He's open often on the offensive end, hitting down big-time shots. It's hard to stay with him as that 4th scorer out there on the floor. I want to shout out Avit Zubats as well, Adam. No double-double. That ends 17 straight games with a double-double. But his defense, I mean, multiple times, one-on-one on an island with Nikola Jokic. Again, I don't know. Evan Mobley won Defensive Player of the Year. Huge shout-out to him. But if you're the best defender on the best player in the NBA, I don't know how you're not a finalist in that conversation. I'm with you and Lon Murray on that one. But
He created an air ball from Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic in the second half on his patented step back on the right baseline. You just don't see that very often.
no, you don't. And I think at times, Adam, and let me know if you see this as well. It looks like Jokic is exhausted at times.
He was asking for a towel late in the fourth quarter. Actually, it was late in the third quarter. I was wondering, is he going to be able to play the rest of this ball game
Yeah.
if need be, like he did in game 2? And while they had someone at the free throw line, he was going back to the bench and asking for a towel just to wipe the sweat from his brow. He was absolutely spent. And it's scary, I think, if you're a Denver Nuggets fan, because he didn't play heavy minutes and he still was so tired in this ball game, even though for his standards, he was only at 36 and a half minutes, not exactly your typical Nikola Jokic playoff minute load.
No, but this is a guy who, for 82 games, Adam, has had to help a team that has the best offense in the NBA when he's on the floor, and then when he's off the floor, look like a team that's tanking for Cooper Flag. Essentially, when it comes to offensive rating, they've had the worst offensive rating in the NBA when he's off the floor. So you think about, after the game in which he scored, he had a 40-point triple-double. He turned to DeAndre Jordan. He said, "I can't play the next day. My back hurts." The back hurts physically, also metaphorically. I mean, this is someone who's carried this Denver team. I still think he's going to have one of those big games in him. But as Joey Kimball, our statistician, pointed out, Denver 0-4 when he goes for 41 or more in the playoffs.
And it's interesting to look at this box score, but Jamal Murray has a game high with 23. Nikola Jokic has a game high of 23. And they still lose by 34 points because of just all the balanced scoring from this Clippers team. And yeah, the plus minus doesn't look great for Denver.
Well, not that. I mean, 6 bench points to the Clippers' 31. The Clippers had 2 guys off the bench scoring double figures. Denver had one other starter outside of Jokic and Murray scoring double figures, and Aaron Gordon did it in the first 4 minutes, had 11 points, and then 4 the rest of his 27 minutes of the game. That's the true imbalance in this series. Is the Clippers have the depth and the versatility. It's something both coaches have spoke to, and I think in this game, Adam, we saw the greatest example of that. That run in that end of the first into the second. I mean, Nico Batum kept it going with the way he shot the ball, and the Clippers were able to just run away with things thanks to his effort.
Clippers win 117-83, complete domination in game 3 here at Intuit Dome. How was your first postseason experience here, Clipper Nation? How do you like that? Just complete domination, their third biggest victory in postseason franchise history, by the way. They do it here. They open up the postseason at Intuit Dome in style, winning by 34 in game 3 over the Denver Nuggets. And we got a game 4 on Saturday. Interesting start time for this one. I just want to make sure everybody knows this.
Right? 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock tip off. We'll have your pregame show starting at 2, right back here for game 4 on Saturday. Carlo Jimenez, you were right. Good call by you, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's do it again on Saturday.
Adam, I would love as many more home playoff games here at Intuit Dome as we can get as the rounds go. Big time win to open up the arena. Why don't you win the 3rd largest playoff win total? Let's keep it going. Let's keep adding to it here at Intuit Dome. Who has the Intuit Dome playoff record now? James Harden? Because he have the regular season and the playoff? 21? How many do you have? No, Kawhi.
Give it to Kawhi with 21 points, 7
See
of
if anybody
17.
can beat that on Saturday. Saturday crowd, Saturday afternoon, Adam. What a game. I mean, even Nico spoke to it. A true opening night, round 2. We got it again. Clippers win. They're up 2-1. Game 4, here we come. Let's go.
Coming up next, we got second half highlights as the Clippers just decimate the Denver Nuggets in this ball game, winning 117-83. You're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. What up, y'all? How's everybody feeling? Not too bad, I hope.
I had him unplugged, Daniel. You might want to repeat what you were telling him.
Gotcha. What a victory. Just magical here at Intuit Dome. To see a victory like this, waiting to get this first postseason game, and then the Clippers and the crowd delivering to this degree. Special. The wall, fantastic. They had pictures of David Adelman with earmuffs on. And yes, I think he heard you guys. I'm sure he'll be asked post-game about it. Jake, it's going in and out. Jake, it's going in and out. Okay, now it's on. Second half highlights coming up next. Oh, big dog. That was a hell of a call, man. That was fun. It's so much better being here with you. Clippers win 117-83 here in Game 3, and the first ever postseason game at Intuit Dome. Clippers come through, pass every test with flying colors in this one. I'm at a Moslin after a 34-point victory over the Denver Nuggets. Coming up, we'll get to your final box score. We'll have Clippers talk on AM 570 LA Sports. But right now, second half highlights. Clippers open things up in that second quarter, led by as many as 20. They were up by 18 at the half at 65-47. Norman Powell had 8 points in the first half. Well, you would more than double that in the third quarter alone. Norman Stormin Powell with 12 points there in the third quarter. And the Clippers led by 20 heading into the fourth. It was 90-70. And to put the finishing on touches on this one, it would be Big Zoo beats Zubats. Clippers would go on to win 117-83 as Big Zoo ended up with another 6 points there in the fourth quarter. Clippers blow out the Denver Nuggets, dominate Game 3 here at Intuit Dome, the first ever postseason game here at the Dome. They win 117-83. Coming up next, your final box score. I'm at a Moslin as you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. How we feeling, Clipper Nation? You guys good now? Everything okay? Norman Powell stepped up. Is that what we wanted to see? This is why I said you can't give up on Norman Powell. Kevin Costner was in the house. Anthony Anderson. Adam Devine. Who else was here? Pat Bev. CP3. Who else? Jelly Roll, who I'm not that familiar with, but I like. Think I saw him at the CMAs. Or the only guy we were missing was Paul Scheer. Shout out Paul Scheer. I know he wanted to be here. But we did have some Clippers royalty, including the ultimate royalty, the royal family, the Batums. God bless Nico and his family and Lily. It's unbelievable. What a player. It's so good to have him back. I told you they were saving him for the playoffs. Did I tell you all season long? He played 26 minutes, 12 points, but come on. 3 blocks. The block he had on Aaron Gordon was straight Batumbo. Incredible. And when they went on their big run, Nico was on the floor. Such an impressive victory. Set pregame. It's going one of two ways. A Jokic 40 spot in a close game or a Clippers blowout. Clippers win 117-83 in game 3 over the Denver Nuggets here at Intuit Dome. First ever postseason game here at the Dome. I'd say it was pretty darn successful. Clipper Nation, pat yourself on the back. You guys showed up in a big way. The wall, the swell, everybody. It was so deafening here. It was louder than I'd ever heard it. And they were letting David Adelman hear it constantly. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers had 4 starters with 19 or more. Norman Powell. I thought that fourth quarter would transfer over from game 2. It did. He had 20, 7 of 12, 3 of 8 from the field. And his defense was good. He played some really good defense against Christian Brown at times. Kawhi Leonard, you know the defense is good. Just 7 of 17, that's okay. He had 21, 11, and 6 and was still aggressive out there. Got up 17 shots, led them in the shot department. Ivica Zubac, his double-double streak is over. That's okay. 19 and 9, 8 of 12 from the field. And Nikola Jokic just goes 9 of 14. He only took 14 shots in the game. That's incredible. Ivica Zubac deserves a ton of credit for what he has been doing against Jokic in this series. This is the worst series for Nikola Jokic in, I think, 4 or 5 years so far. James Harden with 20, all 20 points coming in the first half. And then off the bench, Nico Batum. Where would this team be without him? 4 of 6 from the field. All of his shots from the outside. He went 4 of 6 from 3 to get to those 12 points. 5 boards, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. We're talking rear view contests at the rim. Just at the level of physicality and the activity from him defensively, it was one of the tone setters in this game. DJ had 10 points as well. The shutdown corners did their thing. Chris Dunn had 8 boards. He had a huge offensive rebound among the trees. It reminded me of Patrick Beverley. He did it right in front of Patrick Beverley, who was in the building tonight. One of my all-time favorite Clippers. Awesome to see. Love Pat Bev. And this Clippers team out-rebounded the Denver Nuggets by 10 and by 4 on the offensive glass, while still only having 11 turnovers in this game, just like last game. The Denver Nuggets had 16 turnovers. The Clippers, even while shooting 18 of 39 from the outside, that's 46% from 3. And make no mistake, that's a big part of this game and why they blew them out. But even while doing that from 3, they still led the Denver Nuggets in points in the paint at 42-38. That's incredible. I've been using that word too much. What am I, Jim Rome? Clippers win 117-83. Game 4 coming up on Saturday, right back here at the Dome. The Dome is home. It is certified. It is stamped. It is a real home court advantage. I want to put it like this. Ownership's the biggest advantage in sports. And Steve Ballmer gave the Clippers their first home court advantage because of his great leadership. God bless Steve Ballmer. A dream realized. It's working. Clippers win by 34 over the Denver Nuggets in their first ever playoff game in their first ever home. Game 4 is coming up on Saturday. Again, pre-game starting at 2 outside of Los Angeles. We're leaving you until then in LA. We got Clipper Stock next. What time are we going till, Daniel? Cool, cool. This is Steve Ballmer, guys. You don't win a game like that without great ownership. By the way, also a special night. Big brother Jake Warner, 3,000 broadcasts. 3,000 broadcasts for Big Bro. They weren't going to lose tonight. Big Bro was confident. I mean, he's always confident, but my goodness, tonight, he was confident tonight like Turk and Scrubs. Like that level of confidence. My signature is like waves. Are you going to sign it? What a night. Dude. Absolute dream. Feel so blessed, so lucky. Good to be with you all, Clipper Nation. Man, you guys showed up. Oh, you know I call him Batumbo. R.I.P. Matumbo. Mark always has something. He'll find something negative to say. We know. We're all aware. Bogey needs to play better. Yes, he at least got off the snide with a bucket late during inconsequential time. It's the only missing ingredient right now. But if the Big Four is going like this, not many can beat this Clippers team. I'm telling you. The Clippers knock them down from 3 in game 3 and win by 34 over the Denver Nuggets. Final score 117-83 in their first ever playoff game here at Intuit Dome. That's how you open up the postseason here in your first ever home, Clipper Nation. I want to start things off by saying this. We'll get to your phone calls, 866-987-2570, of course. But everybody in the arena, you guys made the difference tonight. This Clippers team got blitzed early. They were down by 7. Denver was not missing. They went 8 of 9. It looked like, are they stepping up? Are they trying to quiet the crowd here at Intuit Dome? They couldn't do it. And this Clippers crowd and Clipper Nation experience that we just had here at Intuit Dome was special. You guys fueled this. Truly. I thought the Clippers were in deep trouble. Aaron Gordon was hitting everything to start. He had 11 points in the first quarter. First points of the ball game. He finished with just 15. The crowd was never taken out of it, even when the Clippers were up by as many as 34. their final score. They won by 34. It just felt like the wall, the swell, the atmosphere, the environment, it was to perfection a plan coming together that had been in the works for years with Steve Ballmer, Gillian Zucker, this Clippers organization, to give them a home court advantage, to give fans the best experience in sports, to make sure Clipper Nation was heard. You were heard, and you affected the ball game. You guys were the difference tonight. Clippers came out. Yes, they started to hit shots, but it was the crowd underneath them. You provided that jet fuel. Because Denver came out scorching hot and focused. Clipper Nation wasn't going anywhere. Neither was this ball club. By the end of the first quarter, they flipped things around. After being down by 7, the Clippers were up by 7 at 35-28. They went on a 10-0 run to end that first quarter. They went plus 11 with Ben Simmons out there on the floor against Nikola Jokic. There are some people that would look at the box score after game 1 and be like, what did Ben Simmons do? He didn't do anything. He didn't affect this game at all. What do you mean? You could look at tonight's box score. What do you mean, Adam? He played 9 minutes. Like, what could he have really done out there? He went 0 of 2. 3 boards, a steal, a block. How could he be that impactful? Well, you pick up Jokic full court. You hound him. You make him work for everything. And you flip a ball game early on when the Denver Nuggets had all the momentum. Plus 11 is what Ben Simmons went on the court in that first quarter before Zook came back in to start the second. And because of Coach Lou's brilliance, it got Zoo minutes where Jokic wasn't out there on the floor, and the Clippers opened things up in the second quarter to leading by as many as 20. And that was it. Once they got up by 10, it stayed above 10. This team showed a ton of poise and just a resilient nature while leading throughout most of this ball game. Denver made a couple of runs, but it never felt like the lead was in doubt. The Clippers were that dominant on both ends. And I'm talking about pinpoint precision with their execution in this ball game on both ends. When they started to heat up from 3, going 9 of 13 from 3 in the first quarter, it just looked like they were taking whatever was available defensively. Whoever Denver left open, they were finding. They weren't forcing anything. And then when you're hitting shots like that, and at the half, you're at still 12 of 22 from 3, 51% from the floor. When you're hitting shots at a rate like that and taking care of the basketball, just 4 turnovers in the first half, well, you can set your defense on the other end. And we know how good they are when they can set their defense. The Nuggets had 3 fast break points in the game. They all came in the first quarter. That's it. Clippers showed more heart, more hustle. They out-rebounded them by 10, by 4 when it came to offensive rebounds. This was as well played a ball game. It was the best executed game I've seen from the Clippers all season long. They were that good on both ends of the floor. They hold a team to 83 points, the 4th best offense in the regular season, to 83 points. Suffocating defense. Jokic got off 14 total shots after just 16 last game. That's impossible. But the Clippers come at you in waves. These delayed doubles and triple teams at times that they mixed up with coverages, it's got Jokic off balance. It does. I'm still waiting. I think that 40-point game is still coming. He's that good. But the Clippers have been as good as anyone defending him that I've seen over the last 5 years. It starts with Ivica Zubac because he's good enough one-on-one. He caused the travel by Jokic. They finally called it. And you have the best player in the world looking a little bit fatigued and maybe even rattled out there. Just utter domination by this Clippers team. The big four were set loose. Norman Powell looks to be back. The fourth quarter he had in game 2, that stuff is meaningful. It translated into this ball game. He finished with 20 points in 28 minutes. His defense was better too. He had a play where he just locked up Christian Brown, who got a couple of easy ones early on. He had 4 points in the first quarter, cutting to the basket the way he likes to. And then the Clippers just shut the water off. I mean, they gave up, they gave up 28 points in the first quarter. So the last 3 quarters, they gave up 55 total points. What was this, the 2004 Detroit Pistons? Ben Wallace out there? That was the original Fear the Fro. Unheard of. Just 55 points the final 3 quarters by this Clippers team given up to a Denver team that had a top 5 offense and has Nikola Jokic, and whenever he's on the floor, they got the best offense in the league. He looked tired. Coach Lou so far has played this beautifully. He didn't tire out his guys in game 1. I was worried about them losing that game the way they did and not playing guys heavy minutes. But it's had that compounding effect where over the length of the series, the Denver Nuggets have been playing their guys more and Coach Lou has been playing his guys less. Now, they look very tired and their bench, they're in trouble right now because we knew Michael Porter Jr. was banged up heading into this one. He tried to get it out, played 35 minutes, 2 of 9 though, just 7 points, 6 boards. Went to the locker room at the end of this game. Russell Westbrook went out with a foot injury in this game. And Russ had been good the first 2 games. He played just 8 minutes. 1 of 5, airball to 3. The wall let him hear it. He was 1 of 5, and they were all threes. They only got 4 points off the bench. Peyton Watson had 2. Zeke Naji had a point at the charity stripe. And by the way, the wall in the first half, when Denver was shooting on that side, they went 4 of 8. Seemed to be effective. I think it's going to survive, Coach David Adelman. I don't think the NBA is doing anything with it. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be trendsetters and trailblazers, and future arenas will see how cool this is, and they're going to say, hey, we want a wall too. They're revolutionizing arenas with what they did here. This ingenuity from Steve Ballmer, Gillian Zucker, there's nothing else like it. And teams are realizing this. This was only game 1 in the postseason, but you can't tell me the crowd, the wall, this atmosphere didn't have an effect on this game. It did. It wasn't just different. It was effective. Everybody did their job. I know Bogey got a bucket late and inconsequential time. I'm hoping that gets him going. They left him out there just to get that shot. He got it. Went 1 of 3. He's been in a deep funk. He is far too amped, I think, out there. On back-to-back, or one sequence, he had an offensive foul on one end and then got fouled and took a tough fall against Julian Strother, trying to guard him coming around a screen. But everybody else pointed in the right direction, and I got a lot of faith in Bogdanovic. He has played in some really big games. He has performed in some really big games. He almost beat Team USA last summer. He and Jokic together. So, yeah, from the windows to the wall, everything worked. Just a dream opening playoff game here at Intuit Dome. Perfection. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Clipper Nation, you did it. You were able to affect the game. There's a real home court advantage now. Now you got to bring it again on Saturday for game 4. Stay on them. Do it all over again. But yeah, I have no doubt you will. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll get to your phone calls. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the number. I'm at a Mosland after the Clippers win by 34 here in game 3 with a final score of 117-83 over the Denver Nuggets. You're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. I like this from Shaft 9000. Y'all going to show Coach Lou some love? Because he's been cooking this series. Absolutely cooking. The Ben Simmons move. I may have changed this series. James Harden, by the way, had 9 assists to just 1 turnover. James Harden apparently post-game said, Coach Lou and Jeff Van Gundy, they're like yin and yang, literally the yin yang twins. Tyronn Lue and Jeff Van Gundy, the yin yang twins. Kawhi came out afterwards, said in his post-game interview with Christina Pink, everybody came out. The wall was great, cheering all night. It all worked. This is why this arena was built, to win games like this. Proud to be a small part of it. Everybody who was here, everybody who has been here at all this year, everybody in Clipper Nation, celebrate it. Awesome, awesome win. History was made tonight. Can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait. Got to do it again on Saturday. I know some people are going to be hesitant and be like, I don't want to be up 3-1 against Denver again. Yes, you do. Clippers win 117-83 over the Denver Nuggets here at Intuit Dome in the first ever postseason event here. Clipper Nation, welcome home. The Dome is home, and it's 1-0 in playoff basketball. Clippers dominate by 34. Just a sound victory, a sound beating of the Denver Nuggets in this game in all facets. But to me, the biggest thing about this win is it happened here in the Clippers' own home. Finally, they have their own home, and it worked in postseason game number 1 here at Intuit Dome. Everything that was designed here was about bringing a home court advantage for big games like this. It's worked all season, don't get me wrong. They went 30-11 here, and that was after losing their first 4 games. But tonight, a true test. Would it translate to the postseason? Would teams get rattled, intimidated? Didn't look like it at first with Denver. But after a quick start, they cooled off quickly. Clippers held them to 55 points the final 3 quarters. They were so in tune. They were so connected on both ends of the floor. The execution was at its apex. tonight. Offense, defense. I could not believe the way the Clippers were dissecting them and finding the right player every single possession over and over again. No agendas, nobody looking for theirs, nobody trying to take over the game or do it by themselves. It was a complete team victory. 6 players in double figures, and 4 of the 5 starters had 19 or more, including Norman Powell, who looks to be back. He had 20 in the ball game. Let's go to, we can start things off with Gene from North Carolina. Gene, you're on Clipper Stop with Adam Moslin. What's up, Gene? I hear you, Gene. I appreciate that, man. It's good to be a part of this. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. Like, people ask me, why do you keep doing this show all the time? It's 202 straight days. There have been times where late at night I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a show tomorrow. I'm tired. This is going to end the streak. I'm going to stop doing it. And then I wake up and I'm energized. And I start to think about this Clippers team and how just great this season has been, how exciting it's been, the possibilities moving forward. And Clipper Nation, people are texting me, tweeting me. I don't want to let you guys down. Like, I love to hear from you. Once I figured out I could take calls on off days, I was like, oh, the streak is never stopping now. Okay, not never stopping, but until this Clipper season is over, whenever that may be, I'm not stopping. I can't stop. So I appreciate the love, but really, just like what we saw tonight with this crowd fueling the Clipper squad, it's the same thing to me all the time. Like, I just feel like Clipper Nation, they're so on fire for this team. It just gets me excited. It's reinvigorating. All right, Gene, tell me what you thought of the game. I appreciate it, of course, and it's good talking to a longtime Clipper fan that's got a great phone as well and a great voice. So, Gene, what do you want to say? Yep. No, I agree with you, Gene. That was a huge key to this game, and I appreciate the phone call. And Kawhi led them in that area. He said enough when it comes to them beating us up on the boards. He had 11. The reason Zubas didn't get to his typical double-double, the reason that streak is over is because of Kawhi, because he was so aggressive getting rebounds. And the Clippers out-rebounded them by 10 in this ball game, by 4 when it came to offensive rebounds. Zoo did have 5 of those. Kawhi had 2, though. So there's different ways to impact a game. No, he didn't go 15 of 19. He was 7 of 17. But having 11 boards and only being second to Jokic with 13, Kawhi knew if we shore up this area, if we plug this hole, this leak on the ship, then we can become that much better. We can start to eliminate some of these weaknesses we've had. You become a more complete team, a more balanced team, and you find other ways to win. And that's what it's all about, because you're not always going to have your shot. Kawhi 7 of 17. I thought he got kind of a rough whistle at times in this game. 2 of his fadeaways on the right baseline over Christian Brown. He was on the officials a little bit, wanting those to be and ones. He eventually did get a big and one. It kind of was one of the bigger buckets to make sure the Clippers slammed the door, boarded it up, and turned it into a wall. So Denver had no chance to come back in this one. But Kawhi's a complete player. He is a two-way superstar. He does the little things. That's what makes him so special. It's not just that he can get you an efficient 30. It's that he can do it while doing role player-like stuff. That's the difference with Kawhi. He's exceptional in that way. He's very unique in that way. And he's very selfless. Every once in a while to a fault. Maybe when he first came back, I felt like he should be more aggressive. And we said in game 1 he should be more aggressive, but he turned it around. Kawhi was excellent in this ball game. Probably their best player out there tonight. But there's a lot of guys to choose from. James Harden had all 20 of his points in the first half. And the one thing I loved about James Harden in the first half was half of his 10 shots were threes. He went 3 of 5. So his other 2 makes were going downhill, going to the basket, and he got fouled multiple times. He went 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. So even though the Clippers, they were taking a ton of threes, rightfully so. They were making them. They started 9 of 13 from the outside. After I think Denver was 3 of 3 to start the game from 3, but they cooled off quickly. But the Clippers, I was concerned about what happens when the threes aren't falling. What are you falling back on? How do you then get back into just executing and going through your actions and running your system, running your offense? And James Harden was making sure to still get downhill and get points in the paint. Because the Clippers at the half, while taking 22 three-pointers and hitting 12 of them, still were tied in points in the paint with Denver at 20. That I thought was a huge deal. They won points in the paint by the end of this game, 42-38, even while hitting 18 three-pointers. So you still had enough balance there. They didn't just put them up from the outside. And by the way, the reason they were doing it is because typically if the Clippers are knocking them down from 3, it's a sign that their ball movement is really good and they're finding the open man. They're not going to force them. They're going to take the right type of threes. Well, they ended up taking almost 40 in this game, which is about 6 more than they typically attempt. That tells you that the ball movement was great and the Clippers' offense was finely tuned. When they're putting up a lot of threes, typically that means the Clippers, everybody's touching the basketball and they're finding the open man, and they were. Now, you look at the end of the game, how many guys ended up hitting three-pointers for them? Norm with 3, Kawhi with 3, Dunn with 2, James Harden with 3, Nico Batum with 4, Derek Jones Jr. with 2, Patty Mills at the end knocked one down. It's a really good sign for this team typically when they are taking more threes. But James Harden ended up with 9 assists to 1 turnover. Didn't score a point in the second half. Still affected the game. Awesome to see. Let's go to, what else do we got here? We got 866-987-2570. Lenny in Inglewood. Lenny, give me like 30, 45 seconds. I got to make sure to get to everybody. I mean, last game out, the Clippers only had 105 though. I mean, they didn't score a ton the first two games. Yes. I got you. All right, Lenny. I'm with you. I agree. When they're rolling like this, when they're humming, when they're on all cylinders, it's like they got 4 all-stars out there between James, Zoo, Kawhi, and Norman Powell. And 4 guys that are so different in what they can do and how they star in their roles. Not necessarily as role players, but they are still playing roles. They have different ways they affect the game that complement one another out there. Brian Seaman was talking to Coach Lou about this pregame. Like, you've had maybe more talented teams in the past, but now you have a team where guys 1 through 12, everybody knows their lane, knows their role, and what is required of them that night. Instead of having somebody that, maybe wants to score, maybe wants to pass, maybe wants to be more of a role player, take a back seat. Yeah, I am talking about Paul George a little bit, and he's an all-time great Clipper. CP3 was in the house. He's an all-time great Clipper. To me, Pat Bev is a legend here. But Paul George was a moving target with his role at times. You didn't know what you were going to get night to night. Norman Powell has more of a scoring appetite than Paul George. It's true. He's looking to get buckets. Now, they're different players. Paul George does offer more, but it starts with being in attack mode and looking for your offense when you're a star. I just think the way this Clippers team has been built and has been constructed, the pieces fit much better. Not that last year's team couldn't have made a run. They could have if they were healthy, of course. But this team makes a lot of sense in different ways. And you're seeing it out there right now. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. Clippers win 117-83 over the Denver Nuggets. I'm Adam Moslin. You're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. You guys calling out BJ? I saw him pregame. BJ's my guy. Yes, the box score does scream no egos. I agree with you. But it starts, if Kawhi's going to go out there and board like that and play defense like that, everybody else better do the same, right? I'm going to do a game recap coming up here because there's so many things to highlight and talk about. I love a lot of what we saw in this game. Of course, by the fourth quarter, you know. Daniel, do we still got one more timeout? Cool. With you guys till 11. The Dome is home, y'all. Steve Ballmer did it. They got a real home court advantage now. That's what I was saying. Did you hear me earlier? I said that they're going to be the trailblazers of this. They're not taking it. Yeah, it makes sense. Clippers win 117-83. Great defensively, great on the offensive end, a complete game on both ends of the floor, and that's how you get a 34-point victory in Game 3. After the first two games were decided by a total of 1 point, the Clippers win this one and leave no doubt, winning by 34 in their first ever game here at Intuit Dome. Just incredible. The environment, the atmosphere, the noise, David Adelman, that was put out by Clipper Nation, deafening. I didn't check to see if they did the decimal meter like they typically do. I might have missed it at some point. 130 is the record at a basketball game, but it was loud as I've ever heard it here at Intuit Dome. It was awesome. Just a perfect night for Clipper Nation. Celebrate it, enjoy it. Let's recap this ball game because it didn't look great early on, I must say. There were some bad signs. Zoo got blocked by Michael Porter Jr. to start the game, and Aaron Gordon got an and one on the other end. Zoo didn't go up strong at first. I was a little bit concerned, and for whatever reason, they started off the ball game trying to throw a wrinkle at the Clippers with Michael Porter Jr. on Ivica Zubac and with Jokic on Kawhi. Maybe it worked for a second. They did it for 2 or 3 possessions, and then they went back to their usual covers on defense, the Denver Nuggets. I don't know if anyone asked David Adelman about that. Maybe we'll do some Clipper stock after dark once I get back to Burbank after the game. But let's just say Denver led 17-11 after an Aaron Gordon 3 in the first quarter. He was hot. He had 11 points, and I was getting worried. I was thinking about the 25 he had in Game 1. And Aaron Gordon, noticeably by the end of this game, looked exhausted. More on that coming up. But there was this back and forth 3-point shooting going on where AG hits that 3-pointer to put him up by 6. Chris Dunn hits a 3-pointer off a nice pass from Norman Powell at 17-14. AG another 3. They're up by 6 again. He's already at his 11 points. We're 4 minutes in to the first quarter. Harden misses a corner 3. It was wide open. Timeout Clippers. They're down 20-14, and Denver is 8 of 9 from the field. Clippers get a stop, though, and Kawhi Leonard got in transition and had a beautiful move on Nikola Jokic to go around him for a scoop layup. Jamal Murray misses a 3 with Ivica Zubac on him. Dunn 3-pointer that spins out. Can't get it. It's still 2016 Denver. Zoo blocks then Aaron Gordon. There's a foul called, and some people didn't like this challenge by Coach Lue. But I think this was an early turning point. He challenged it. They said it was marginal contact, and Ivica Zubac got a ton of ball. He got him slightly with the body, but they won the challenge. Now, it ended up being Denver's ball because Gordon at the end of the play came down with it, imminent possession, but they ended up having a backcourt violation afterwards as Jamal Murray dribbled the basketball off his foot. Credit the wall. You guys were very loud. Now Ben Simmons comes in for Big Zoo. Here we go. Russ came in for Michael Porter Jr. Norm starts this run off missing a three-pointer. Jokic to Brown for a dunk. After a double comes at Jokic. And I thought, uh-oh, is the Ben Simmons lineup not going to work this time? Nah, here we go. It's 22-16, and now Norm hits a three-pointer. Here comes Storm and Norman Powell. It was important, the fact that he ended up in the first quarter with 8 points. So his last quarter of game 2, he has 7. First quarter of game 3, he has 8. Norm's back. He's engaged. He looks good. He's pumping up the crowd. But still, there's a Christian Brown backdoor cut and one. 24-19. He would miss the free throw against the wall. Now it's DJ Batum, Harden, Simmons, and Norm. Jokic is still out there. Ivica Zubac has been off the floor. There was some miscommunication on a bad turnover on the far sideline, but then an offensive foul on Russ on the other end. Who generated it? Ben Simmons. It's still 24-19. DJ missed an easy floater. He has missed a couple of those, I've noticed in this series. Murray's alone for a Jokic pass and gets an easy layup. 6-point game. Nope, that was the 7-point lead they had. It was 26-19. Harden hits a three-pointer. Here we go. 26-22. Turnover. Christian Brown looking for Jokic cutting underneath on a backdoor cut. He thought he was fouled. Didn't get the call. Harden hits another three-pointer. Here we go. 26-25, 1-point game. Jokic layup out of a timeout. 28-25 Denver. Norm free throws, brings it back to 1. Clippers get a stop. Harden fouled, but a side out. Now James gets a layup, and I love seeing this. Him going left for a layup. Clippers are up 29-28, their first lead of the ball game, I believe. Russ misses a 3 on the left wing. Harden, another 3. This one over Pickett. He's got 13 points in the first quarter, and the Clippers are on a 7-0 run. It's 32-28 Clippers. Russ misses another 3. Batum 3 on the right wing. Oh, these Nico Batum plays in this ball game. Special. Clippers lead 35-28 after the first quarter. They ended on a 10-0 run. They went plus 11 in the Ben Simmons minutes with Jokic out there on the floor. They were 9 of 13 from 3. 9 of their 11 makes in the first quarter were from 3. And they went from down 7 to up 7 quickly. It's 35-28 heading into the second. Now it's Batum, Bogey, Kawhi, DJ, Zoo. Thank you, Ben Simmons. You more than did your job. Zoo's coming back in, and he's got minutes now where Jokic isn't out there on the floor. He quickly gets a tip in after missing his initial tip in on a miss from 3 from Kawhi Leonard. Now Kawhi over Pickett throws a pass to Ivica Zubac, who, had Pickett on him for a lefty hook. So Ivica Zubac has the first 4 points of the second quarter. And Kawhi was looking for him. Oh, you got the mismatch? We're going to you. That's what it was like all night. Who's got the advantage? Who's open? Who's got the advantage? We're not messing around. We're getting to our offense quickly. Now we get a Nico Batum block on Aaron Gordon, who had an easy layup, and in comes Batumbo. Block Toom was there. That, I think, was a huge tone setter because everything was coming easy early on for Aaron Gordon. Not now. DJ, left wing three-pointer. We went from Denver was up 28-25 in the first quarter to a 17-0 run by the Clippers. Where now they're up 42-28 in the second quarter. Denver went almost 7 minutes without a field goal. Clippers aren't done, though, here. Well, they would get to the free throw line, Denver, for a couple. Now Batum hits a 3 off a nice bogey pass. Clippers are up by 15. Nico came in and made a huge impact right away. He got a three-pointer to go that hit off the front of the rim and got the friendly shooter's bounce where it had enough rotation to drop and fall in. Incredible. This Clippers team, even though it got down to a 10-point lead after a Russ made three, he was 1 of 5 from the outside. And I'm going, they should be up by more right now. Why is it only 50-40? Are they relying too much on the three ball? Is this hot shooting going to hold up? Well, out of the timeout, Kawhi and Zoo run a pick and roll. It took them 2 tries, but eventually Kawhi found him, and he had some really nice passes in this one, by the way. And they got the bucket out of the timeout to go back up by 12. Jokic misses a 3. Kawhi misses a baseline jumper. AG misses a 3-pointer. Offensive rebound, Brown. Another missed 3. Goes to Gordon. Russ misses a 3 then after that. They had multiple possessions. They had opportunities to knock one down. That was the lone blemish, I would say, in the rebounding battle. That one possession where they had, I think, 3 shots, the Denver Nuggets, in the first half. Now it's Batum, Kawhi, Dunn, Harden, Zoo. Been wanting to see more of this lineup. Harden gets a layup. Remember, he's not just settling for 3-pointers. That was key in him getting to his 20 points in the first half. Nico Batum gets another block. He's everywhere, guys. Harden then gets fouled on a 3 from Michael Porter Jr. on the right wing, 54-40. Powell comes back in for Batum at the 4:07 mark. Harden did miss the last free throw of those 3 that he got to. Russ airballs a corner 3 in the far side. And now Kawhi has a turnaround jumper on the right baseline on Christian Brown to put him up by 18. It was their largest lead at that point. Kawhi wasn't happy also. He thought there was contact. Jokic got fouled, went up against the wall and the horses that were there, and went 1 of 2 to make it 58-41. Norm then has a beautiful read on a pass to Ivica Zubac rolling to the basket for a big dunk after Zoo missed a bunny where he didn't know how wide open he was because of this great lob pass to the interior over the defense from James Harden. Like they were blitzing James, and he threw a perfect pass to Ivica Zubac. He was so wide open, I don't think he realized it, and he missed a bunny. But Norm would find him 2 possessions later and get him a huge dunk. Clippers are back up by 17. Clippers end up being up at the half by 18. I was concerned because I thought, not necessarily by them being up 18 at the half, but there were moments where it was just a 10-point lead in that second quarter. And I thought, have the Clippers done enough? Have they done enough to put away this Denver Nuggets team? But Kawhi had a beautiful pass before the end of the first half as well to DJ as a double team came, and he dunked it basically to end the first half. It was 65-47. We'll recap the second half after this timeout. Clippers win 117-83 over the Denver Nuggets here at Intuit Dome. First ever postseason game here. We'll get back to your phone calls as well. I'm Adam Moslin, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. How are we feeling, Clipper Nation? My throat's a little bit wrecked. You guys are going to use that against me, I know. I shouldn't have said it. Well, they got me for it recently when I said that. It's the only reason I was thinking about it. Thank you, Congo Films. Appreciate you. A lot of traffic on the way back home. Kawhi grade, everybody else C+. They did miss their first, I think, 4 or 5 attempts against the wall. That's called friendly fire. It happens. The wall is that effective. It got the Clippers. I said all year, I believe they were saving Nico for the playoffs. They did it. It wasn't a 17-0 run with Kawhi on the bench. The 10-0 run was him on the bench. Then he came back in and they went 7-0 run with him to start the second quarter. Nico did flip the game. He opened this game up. Game breaker type stuff. Golden God. Clippers win 117-83 in game 3 here at Intuit Dome. First ever game here, and they win by 34. Complete domination. Went through the first half. Second half recap. Clippers led by 18. It was 65-47 heading into the third, and Aaron Gordon missed a layup to start the third. And I thought to myself, oh, Nico Batum is still out there, actually. He's seeing ghosts because he had his shot blocked so badly in the first half. Kawhi goes to the line. Now the Clippers are up by 20. They would stay up by 20 for some time. They would end the third quarter being up by 20 as well. But Jokic, some of the memorable plays in that third quarter, he actually got called for a travel. The same travel he wasn't getting called for the first 2 games. He tried to go one-on-one against Ivica Zubac, and I think it led to him doing a little bit too much feet shuffling out there. Zoo gets a floater right away on the other end. Now the Clippers are up by 22. In the third quarter, there was a great play from Norman Powell that caused Christian Brown to miss badly on a fall away, and then Norm hit a 3 on the other end to put him up by 21 when Denver was trying to make a run. Timeout Denver after that. Zoo will put him up by 24 when he got one off the left window. The Clippers were really starting to open things up. When Norm got that and one as he split 2 defenders to put him up by 25, I said, I think we're going to be okay tonight, guys. But to end the third quarter, to really have the Clippers in a good spot, where they could have just been a 17-point game. Nico Batum, huge three-pointer, and then the steal on Peyton Watson on the other end, and the Clippers are up 90-70 after 3. Star of the fourth was brutal. Fouls being called on both sides, offensive fouls. Kawhi did have a great feed to DJ again for a nice dunk. But the moment you felt where, okay, the Clippers have some distance here. It's not going to be Denver's night. It's not happening. Even with the Clippers missing free throws. They were 11 of 13 from the charity stripe before the fourth quarter. And the wall got to them. It happens once in a while. Kawhi made a really aggressive move after it was an 18-point game with Jokic hitting some free throws on the other end and drew a tough foul on Jokic. And it just seemed like Kawhi's will was there. He wasn't going to let this happen. He was going to do it the hard way. He wasn't going to settle for a jumper. It was when Jokic thought he knew what the play was on the other end, and Kawhi just went right at him on the left baseline. Then he finally was able to hit some free throws. The Clippers were able to. Jokic also was doing some stuff where he was trying to give them a possible challenge on an out-of-bounds play and was tying his shoe, and James Harden came up to him and said he was trying to tie his shoes for him because Jokic was taking so long to delay it so they could have a look at it to see if they could have an opportunity there to challenge it. But Zoo had a beautiful step through as they found him with Christian Brown on him for a push shot to make it 98-76. And then Harden found Zoo again for an easy dunk, 178. They were blitzing. They have no answer for the pick and roll, guys. They have nothing. They have nothing for it. They try to mix up coverages. Clippers were dissecting everything tonight. The DJ 3 made it 106-82. It was game over. Bogey finally got his bucket at the end of this game. That was good to see. Let's go to Mike in LA. Mike, quickly here. 30 seconds. $202 straight days of Clippers talk for you. It wouldn't happen without you guys. I agree with you. If they get Bogey going, nobody's going to want to see this team. But the Clippers have work to be done. And I appreciate the phone call, Mike. You're regular, so I wanted to close things out with you. I'm sorry I didn't get to all your guys' phone calls. I feel terrible. I will do some Clippers talk after dark when I get back to Burbank in about 40 minutes here. Remember that. At Clippers Talk on the YouTube side for that. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Daniel West back in Burbank, and Big Brother Jake Warner, Mr. 3000 hits, because every broadcast with him has been a hit, and tonight he hit 3,000 broadcasts in his illustrious career. Big bro, it couldn't have been a better night here at Intuit Dome for you to reach 3,000, my friend. I'm Adam Oslin. We'll talk to you guys with Clippers Talk After Dark in about 45 minutes at Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. Clippers win 117-83. Talk to you on Saturday. Daniel, good stuff, man.